Nick, I'm in the midst of darkness, but I've come to show you a chess game. I'm just fucking with you. I thought it'd be a good intro. Um, I'll turn a light on that. I'll turn a light on. You know what? Fuck it. I'll make this YouTube video. Your name's Nick. It probably sounded really cool. If it isn't, then you're probably wondering what the fuck's going on. We're gonna play some chess, baby. And this is a great game. A little bit of a miniature, but you know, it's just got a nice little interesting stuff going on. So we're gonna go ahead and show it to you guys. In this game, my opponent was DGEPI. Rated about 100 points lower than me, so I did have a pretty strong advantage going into this game, and kind of gives me probably should be a little more aggressive, right? When you have a low rated opponent, be aggressive, get the win quick, right? That's what I think. Let's go for the Sicilian defense. My opponent plays the opening, flawlessly here. We get a Najdorf Sicilian e6, the way I like to play it, a little slower variation. Put my bishop here, castles, and okay, it's a completely fine position. White has a bit more space. Black is going to be able typically to push these queen pawns. My opponent castle king side, so that means I'll change my game plan up. And so here we play b5. b4 is an interesting move. So I played b5, obviously to develop the bishop. Opponent plays b4 to stop any potential pushes, I guess, but it really weakens these pawns here, these light squares. And now I get the idea. I say, okay, well, I'd like to get my knight on a square like this and my bishop here, and I'll be okay. Bring my bishop there. And my opponent plays f3. And now this immediately is kind of putting big sirens in me, like, nah, this isn't the way to play. For one, you're opening these dark squares around your bishop, and it's going to get very scary for you if you are white. The white pieces, that is. Queen to c8. So this move is just opening up the d8 square. Also comes with an attack on the knight, so you have to defend it. My opponent decides to defend it with queen to d3, which is perfectly fine. And now I want to, first I want to bring this bishop around. Also, I have ideas of either in this position I can bring the knight over here, attack his queen, but it's a bit of a one mover. It still could get me to that c4 square. So possibly either knight jumps in with the attack on the queen, or we go knight d6. Now once again, probably going for that idea would have been strongest, but instead I decided to go to the b6 square, which is a bit slower way to play it. Still with the same ambitions, but now my opponent has time to move his queen back. And now, see, the idea would have been a lot better to play that when the queen is on this square, because I want to trade this knight off for this dark square bishop, not necessarily for the light square bishop. If I do allow this trade to happen, I want to have my bishop already on d8, so it's ready to go and ready to get into action here. And according to the engine here, a4 is the best move. Opening up lines here and not allowing me to have these strong bishops, but that's exactly what's going to happen here. And now with my opponent playing, with his knight back to b3, I was really worried about this move, the knight coming in. So I had other ideas potentially of not going straight for this trade. I was worried, so we went ahead and played it anyways. Captures. I was a little worried about knight to a5, and I have to trade off my dark square bishop, but I consider this to be probably better for me. Also, this pawn is hanging, but I'm not too concerned about that. Opponent first tries to trade queens. I say, okay, if we're going to trade queens, I want to do it on my terms. I'd like to have, if the queen captures, rook captures. Now we have pressure here. Bishops come in. We're going to double up rooks on this file, and we're going to have a nice game. My opponent decides not to do that. He grabs the free pawn, of course. Why wouldn't you? Bishop c7 now comes a little tempo. And now you can see these bishops are starting to align. Even the queen here starting to align its eyes on the queen and the king. Now my opponent wants to trade queens. No, sir, that's not going to happen. b6. I really thought that the knight was going to block and we were going to get into something like this, where material is equal, but I probably have a bit of an advantage here just because I'm going to have control of these files. King h1, and now rook would be coming to d8. And now this is it's a more playable position for me. That's what I saw in my head. My opponent immediately just played h1, and now I say, okay, it's too late to trade queens. I'm going to queen b6, and as you see, this is a bishop here from hell, and this queen is also going to be involved in it. So now my opponent, there's really one move you can play here. This is not impossible to find, but you have to play knight e2 if you're white. The reason you play knight e2 is now it stops knight h5 to g3. Which would cause huge problems for you. With the way these bishops are aligned, a check, and there could be some discoveries here. My opponent does not find that, however. that line to defend. Instead, he just decides to double up the rooks, and I say, okay, let's play. So first, you want to play rook f to d8. The reason you want to do this first is because if you immediately jump in with his knight to h5, now once again the knight e2 move is available. And when you play the rook f to d8, now the queen has to take that square, and at this point it's all over. It's in fact kind of inviting knight h5, which is what gets played. And what do? So there's a fork impending. You really can't go to any of these squares to defend it because, for one, it's already defended by the queen, right? So even if you play a move like this, for one, the engine says you can just capture the rook here, and it's going to get even better for you. But you still can't capture, and you still have all these problems. If you don't capture, which is what you have to do, it's a forced mate. So in that position, there's not much to do. My opponent decides to capture one rook, not the whole pair. Let me exchange one rook, and so, I mean, it's hard to find. My opponent tries to go for this idea. Now he's probably thinking, I'm going to play knight check here and captures, but now this allows knight captures, and, I'm still winning here, obviously, but not as immediate. The best way to attack this is to simply go for knight captures on f1, and now there's no escape for the king. Once again, this bishop beautifully blocking off. It is a double check from the knight and the queen. So this king's under trouble, and now the only move, checkmate in one here on queen h2. So I just thought it was an interesting game. Definitely not a perfectly played game from either side. We both had our share of mistakes, but I mean, look at this bishop pair and this queen. I mean, have you seen such a beautiful pair of pieces attacking a king? Really came together this game. Hope you guys enjoyed. If not, you can cuss me out in the comments, say I suck. If you did, you can like and comment saying that I'm good. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.